Okay, I know this video is going to be quite controversial because everyone has different opinions and a lot of people don't like the sequels and Rey, but I think flat out I just need to say now what in general I like the sequels and I like Rey. I don't think they're as bad as everyone says they are, but they are, in my opinion, probably the worst trilogy, not because they're bad, just because the two other trilogies were absolutely amazing. And I mean, if you try and keep on comparing something to the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, it's going to be really hard to find something better than that, because Star Wars are probably the most popular films in history, when you think about it. I know I'm probably biased because I'm a massive Star Wars fan, but that's just how it is. So anyway, I'm going to try and back up why I like the sequels and Rey. And the main argument about Rey is what she's a Mary Sue, which, if you don't know what that means, it's a character which doesn't do any wrong, like they've got no faults. And I think that's not true, because the reason Rey isn't a Mary Sue, for me, is because she tries too hard to be a Mary Sue. I mean, she tries to exile herself because she doesn't want to turn to the dark side, and she's scared of the Force in a way. Like, you can see when she meets Luke, she doesn't know anything about it, and she feels that just because she has it, she needs to do it, and she doesn't feel like it's a part of her. She just feels like it's something she has to complete, because, and I quote, she says, "Oh, it's something where you make things float." And we all know that's not how a Force works, but that's why I think she's not a Mary Sue. She tries too hard to be a Mary Sue, and she has very mixed feelings about Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, and I also need to bring up what, I know a lot of people disagree with me, that's fine. I don't mind as long as you're respectful of everyone's opinion, and you don't call people who dislike Rey sexist or whatever, because I know that happens a lot, and sexism doesn't really come into Star Wars. You don't want that in our community. I don't think anyone does in any community. So I think it's best if we just keep our opinions to ourselves and try and have well-mannered debates. God, I sound like a politician. Yeah, so anyway, I like the sequels because when you think about it, each bit of Star Wars content is progressing the story in a way, and I think the sequels do that really well, adding a different perspective of Star Wars that we haven't seen before. Because, like, with the prequels, it's showing us how the Jedi Order was, and the sequels basically show us the aftermath of the Empire, and the Empire may be destroyed, but everything that it left behind is still there, and it still shows how destructive the Empire was on the overall galaxy. And, like, you can see the Death Star in that ocean in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I should mention that, spoilers, although I think most people would have seen the Star Wars films by now. But yeah, you see how that altered, like, the planet's waves and stuff, and there's still so many, like, hidden projects which are probably still active, like, to the current day in Star Wars that we don't know about, or the Emperor did, like Project Blackwing. That Star Destroyer is still somewhere in the galaxy, God knows where, but it's still out there, and, like, the Wayfinders, they still existed, still in the very throne room where Luke fought Vader on the Death Star. So, and Palpatine, well, I think Palpatine came back as a clone, but maybe not. They say, what the Kaminoans also know new cloning, so it doesn't make sense for secrets only the Sith knew to call them that. Although Palpatine also used a lot of Sith alchemy, and you need to take that in mind, because it's very hard to clone Force sensitives. But if you use Sith alchemy, I think you could definitely find a chance to do that, because Palpatine was obsessed with finding the key to immortality, and when he sucked the Dryad out of Rey and Kylo, I think that almost restored him to power. Although I don't think we'll ever be able to see the good old Sheev Palpatine we once knew, the Chancellor of the Republic. Well, anyway, that's my opinion. Everyone doesn't have to agree. I just thought people should know what I think, and Of course you can have your own opinion, I don't mind as long as you're respectful of others. That's pretty much it. Everyone, see you in my Grandad Wolf Fawn video.